All right, Lions fans, this is part three of the NFL draft for 2021, and we went into the third round, and I believe the Lions did some trading. They traded up, and they I don't know if they got the receiver or got a linebacker from the trade. And I'm just looking at what they uh, what they selected so far, and I'm not concerned about the selection of needs or position of needs and so forth. It just more so mindset, if anything. And it's almost like it's can I say a contrast to how Bob Quinn's approach was. Bob Quinn, I think he approached it the way that his personality was. The players that fit his personality. And I believe that the selection that the Lions have picked in this year is based off of Chris Spielman, maybe Dan Campbell's type of personality. It's really it's like, how can I say, controllable. I want to say it's controlled self. I don't want to call it self control, but the players that they're selecting is like, I don't know. It's like you get guys with attitude, with aggression, but it's like it's these the players that they're bringing in is like it's going to unleash the players that they had already here. So it's like, say for example, if you get an Adrian Peterson for what last year or however long he was here, and he when he was in Minnesota, he played with a a recommended abandonment, a reckon abandonment. I don't know how the phrase goes, and he played very violent, right? However, he wasn't able to play that way. I the the atmosphere was a little a little. It was contained. Let's say it that way. And I believe with this group, you're going to see improvement from Halapalooza Vitae, Jeff Okuda. You're going to see a lot of guys play with the aggression that their actual capabilities are. And I believe it was held back. And I don't want to say that's the Patriots way, but to some degree, it is the Patriots way. The Patriots way is not to be is to be really controlled. If be 100% at being controlled, and if you can flourish with that, then that's how the Patriots get their success. But it's not really. You don't find too many guys. Like, say for example, when the Patriots had Jamie Collins, he's not 100% controlled. He's a roamer, like mentally, like a Lawrence Taylor. Let me do what I do. But the only thing about the Patriots way is that they do the best that they do by having everything controlled. That's if anything is out of control, they lose control. That's why any player that was here up under the Patricia era that was out of control, that plays like control to some degree, but more so play to how they feel, they got rid of it. So what I'm saying right now is a contrast of the approach of how they're picking their players. They're picking players with of course, you could say a little edge, but they're giving these players a leash to roam. And you're gonna see a lot of players from last year that was considered bust for the Lions. It's going to actually take a huge step forward. They're going to play really aggressive, really. I don't want to say nasty, but this is a saying that I want to use. Reckon abandonment. I don't know how that phrase goes. It's on the tip of my tongue, and for whatever reason, I'm losing thought of it. But anyway, I didn't know too much about the linebacker. I didn't know too much about the receiver. I saw them in a mock. I saw them in player evaluations and everything else, but I will overlook them because for the guys that I wanted the Lions to target, I wanted them to target Jamin Davis, the linebacker. I wanted them to target, I think, Nick Bolton. And the receivers, I really didn't put a lot of stock into drafting receivers. The defensive tackle, of course, I wanted them to go after Barmore. And it's who was the gentleman? I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank. He was in the later rounds, and of course, the safety what a corner that they went after. I was more so going towards uh, uh, can't think of his father played, and he played for the Eagles. His father played for the Eagles, and I wanted him to go after that cornerback. Whoever the son of the father to play for the Eagles, I wanted him to the Lions to target after him. And there was, of course, there was a few safeties. I wanted to go after Richie Grant. And I wanted to go after the gentleman that played at Florida State, Hamsma. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Uh, Nurz Nurzalend Nurzalenden. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I wanted him to go after him, and it was a few other players that I would like them to go after, but they didn't. So it is what it is. They went unknown, but I see that the approach where they went to guys that had that Chris Spielman attitude. Chris Spielman wasn't the most talented guy. However, his effort, and he was controlled, but he was able to roam on the leash. He wasn't the best linebacker by far. However, you would not outwork him. And if you look at the guys that they brought in, I don't know much about them. I will say this though, Trey Flowers is on a short leash. Yeah, I mean he's on a not a short leash. Forgive me. He's on he's on notice. Let me say that away. Trey Flowers is on notice, which I didn't want to say. I didn't want to get to that place because I like Trey, but he's on notice, and they will remove him next year. If after this year, they would they'll bite the bullet this year, but they remove and move on if he doesn't play to this new culture. The culture that he came from, Jamie Collins is going to actually fit well in this culture because they're going to allow him to play at not controlled like the New England way. Jeff Okudah, I believe he's a guy that he could play both ways. He could play in the Patriot system as well as he could play in this Dan Campbell system, which means is you could play a little controlled and as well as you could play a little, a little reckless abandon. I think that's like a reckless abandon. I don't know how that saying goes, but he could play a little that way. I don't know what else they're going to do in the draft. I pretty much tanked out after the first pick in the draft. No, actually, I tanked out after the tackles, the defensive tackles that they selected. Now, Levi, I'm gonna get his name. I get it. I can't even remember what it looks like. Anyway, but he's actually him and Barnes is like similar, and I think with Brockers, those three, I could see Brockers, Levi, and a core with maybe a Trey in the middle. If they would switch or go 3-4-4-3, they could do anything. I believe that they went they went Chris Spielman type. I think the defense was Chris Spielman. Even the offensive player, even the tackle. I believe this is all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to dismiss Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell having an input or anything, but I you can see that they really going to go after players that's really tough, guys that don't hold back, but not, let's say, like who is the guy named Burfict, the linebacker. I can't think of his name. I don't. They're not going to go that approach where they're getting guys that is really out of control. They're going to get guys that is out of control, but is a reckless abandon. I want to know that saying. Anyway, with that being said, Lions fans, they're continuing what They continue what Bob Quinn selected. They're doing it a different way. They're getting guys that's not New England type guys. They're getting guys that's going to be this new culture type guys. And this new culture is going to be based upon how Chris Spielman is. With that, Chris Spielman personality, that is. With that being said, Lions fans, I salute.